What's up, y'all? What's up, cowards?
Do you know what day it is? It's Ralph's not here again o'clock.
But not only that,
We also don't have a guest.
we don't have a guest. Like we said in our live show, we were gonna have a guest.
So, welcome to the brocast.
It's the brocast. This is the first time in Noggle history where there's only two people.
To
on
be
the
fair,
podcast.
I was fully convinced eventually we were going to have an episode where it was just going to be me and you. So, wow, dude, this is
different setting too.
It is a different setting. We're in the GOOSHLEMS headquarters dining room.
Yep,
Actually.
we're not at the office today, mostly because
We were lazy.
yeah, and also like there's better internet here.
There is better internet here. That's why we couldn't live stream from...
We couldn't live stream from the office. We tried to.
We did try to. We spent a lot of time setting it up.
And then realized that we couldn't because the Wi-Fi there sucks.
Yeah.
So back at my house
Let's do a speed test on your
on my
your
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi here.
But yeah, there's only two of us. Ralph's not here because I believe he's at a family event.
Family function,
and
yes.
you know you can't dip on those.
You really can't.
But
All right, you're up to 40 megs a second ish.
all right, nice.
I wonder, that's better than my house. My house is like 3 megs a second, so
That's fun.
it is.
Well,
Who are you, Kristoffer?
my name is Kristoffer Bradley Cruz. Since this isn't a very typical podcast, we're both going to be hosting today.
We are both being hosting.
It's just us two, just the two bros, just the two film school kids, because, you know, Ralph's also in film school.
Yes, Ralph is in film school. He actually goes to school in Burlington.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking
He
wild.
goes to school in Burlington. He flies there every Monday morning.
Because we don't live anywhere near there.
We don't live anywhere near there. In fact, we live in Bangladesh. It's very interesting. And if I'm not wrong, he stays up there with his with some friends, and he flies back down to be with his wife and kids on the weekend.
That's great.
So Ralph, it's good that Ralph is a good family member.
We're the camera's closer now
It's true.
because there's only two of us.
There is only two of us.
Also, this podcast is coming out late because we've been busy.
Doing
And
some special things.
You know, we just announced recently, for those who weren't there for our live show, and for those who haven't paid attention to the channel, which is sad, and you should.
Nerds of the many.
I want you guys to friggin' punch that notification bell. No.
And if you don't follow us on Instagram and miss our updates, then you're gonna be in big trouble.
All right, but basically, if you're a Spotify listener and don't listen to anything else, we released a video last week titled "From Now On," and we've talked about it on the podcast before. From Now On was that feature film we made in 2017, and it was wonderful, and we potentially lost it in a hard drive. Well, last week we found out that yes, indeed, it was lost.
Potential turned to yes.
It was. Now it was pretty bad news, but we had to make the announcement. 2 whole years, but we didn't make another announcement that the following week we would be starting production on another feature film, which we haven't really talked about at all.
It has been briefly mentioned on your Twitter.
Yes.
Briefly, even more briefly mentioned on the GOOSHLEMS Twitter. And we mentioned it maybe once or twice on the podcast.
Yeah, we never actually addressed it, I think, by name.
We did once.
We did?
The very first episode.
Okay. Well, I know a lot of people, especially when we were doing the comments for every episode, a lot of people were like, "Oh, talk about upcoming projects," and we would always try to walk around the point, like, "Haha, we're working on this."
We're working on. No one's gonna listen.
And we never officially announced it, which I'm sure people who do know about this were looking for an official announcement. So this is your official announcement. Production has officially started on a new feature film called Monsters Within Us. Whoa. That's wild. And yeah, it's been we've only filmed for 2 days so far, and we're just it's still kind of hard to film because we gotta go around basically everyone's schedules.
Yeah.
And kind of scary. It's been a wild roller coaster. Monsters Within Us has been planned since From Now On was being planned.
I think even like they were both you pitched them at the same time too.
I came up with the idea of Monsters Within Us. Well, actually, no. I actually started writing Monsters Within Us before I even came up with From Now On.
Whoa. Oh, that's right.
Yeah. That was before you even knew me.
I remember seeing that on your Snapchat.
Yeah.
Whoa, dude.
Yeah, I started writing Monsters Within Us.
That's fucked up, bro.
In the summer of 2016. And I finally finished writing it in 2019, and oh boy, it's changed since 2016.
You took like a sizable break in there too.
Yeah. So 2016, and then I started writing it again because I stopped writing that and then started writing From Now On. And after From Now On, I started writing Monsters Within Us again. And I was writing that like near the end of 2017 to early 2018, and then to like mid 2018, because we were planning to film the summer of 2018, and then I realized that everyone's schedule was messed.
It was really bad last summer, mostly because a lot of the cast had graduated high school and they were doing like life stuff.
People would be gone for like months.
Yeah, like I think the longest was like someone was straight up gone like a month and a half.
Yeah.
And we were just like, oh.
And we were like, I don't know how we're going to do this. I don't know how this is going to be possible. So I delayed it till this summer. And was that the right decision? I think it was.
I think at the end of the day it was.
I think it was. I definitely don't think it made it any easier for scheduling, though.
No. Maybe slightly easier.
Yeah, it definitely, like, it was... like, scheduling is going to be difficult no matter what. Mm-hmm. From Now On was just, like, strangely, everything came in place. And, like, everything just worked out.
We really need to do, like, a From Now On cast. Because that was just, like, we got, like, fucking stories, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that was just, I mean, if you really get down to it, that was kind of just a week of me and you not sleeping. Yep. And then Ralph sneaking off home to sleep in between scenes.
In between scenes, yeah. And then, and so I delayed it because not only was the scheduling all messed up, I thought that, because I really liked this story. Like, this is probably one of my favorite stories that I've ever come up with. And I wanted us to grow more as artists before we worked on it. And the thing is, like, I also, like, I didn't want to, like, wait, like, 10 years because it's also something that's very relevant to, like, nowadays. So, like, if I were to make it in 10 years, who knows if it would still be relevant. Also, just because, like, I want to do this. It's fun. It's fun.
Filming's fun. Man.
It's real stressful, but it's fun.
We always have a good time working on big projects.
Yeah. And other than that, I don't really know what else to say about Monsters Within Us because I don't want to, like, spoil anything. I mean, I guess I can say that me and Ryan are both acting in it. And that's...
I came out of retirement for it.
It's pretty wild. Last time Ryan acted... was
non,
From
like,
Now On.
I was gonna say, like, a non-cameo.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I had one line in Without a Voice.
Yeah.
I played the I'm not supposed to reveal that, but I played the arm in Static.
What?
Whoa!
I thought that was
a fake name, bro.
I thought that I forgot what the name was.
Pete Ross, man.
Wasn't it William? It was William Ross.
Named after a Star Trek character. And I've always called him Peter Ross because there's another character in that season named Peter, and I always got fucking confused. No, but the reason that I played him it wasn't originally because I wanted a cameo. I'm Ryan Tocheri, by the way. I didn't say my name yet. It's because Ralph kept getting his like sleeve in the shot. I'm like, no, Ralph, only go in the shot with your forearm. And then he kept doing it wrong. I was like, fucking move, you take the camera. And I went, bah! and
You fucking grab the camera, Ralph.
Ralph's really good at holding the camera.
Oh wait, no. We did do something after from now on. You're forgetting Fall in Class.
I was about to say, are you mentioning Fall in Class? But like that was barely acting.
It was It was improvised.
That was very like I mean like scripted acting.
Yeah.
And in a weird way, we were just kind of like just fucking around.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we were playing ourselves.
That's true. Or fictionalized or
fictionalized
dramatized
versions of ourselves. Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't supposed to say that.
Oh yeah, because Walter
what are you talking?
Binet de Fajui.
Yeah, they're definitely real people.
And Ronaldo.
Ronaldo is a real person. I mean, Bert is a real person.
What's his last name?
Bert Pace.
Bert Pace. His name was only Bert in the script.
His name was only
Pace in that scene.
Ethan Zukin. Love that man. He improvised.
We're overdue for an Ethan guest spot on the podcast. Yeah. I think.
I want him on where me, you, and Ralph are on because he's never been on. He's never been on when all three of us are on.
It's just gonna be a fucking disaster. Every time we hang out with Ethan, it just devolves into us doing something stupid.
Yeah, we hung out with him
last week.
Yeah, last week. It was fun. It was a fun time.
And we had no stupid incidents until he stood underneath a dripping water thing for like half an hour.
He's like, take a picture of me, and the pictures ended up.
The pictures are pretty funny.
Yeah, but like.
Dude, Ethan got wet and I got to see him shirtless. It was a fucking win-win. No, but the line, if you've seen Fall in Class, there's a line where we're talking to Ronaldo, which is Walter's butler, but he's been given the name Ronaldo by Walter. And there's a part where he says Ronaldo's not even the script said Ronaldo's not even my real name. My real name's Bert.
Yeah.
And then it just goes to the next scene. But on the day, we just kind of like rolled and let Ethan improvise.
Yeah.
And in that scene, he just goes, well, why don't you say what he says?
He's like, my name's not Ronaldo, it's Bert.
And there's a long pause.
Bert Pace.
And then we have to cut it in that. And there's a really quick cut there because we all just fucking started laughing our asses off because that was the funniest thing. Just Bert Pace.
Literally, shout out to Austin and Ethan who played those two main roles.
They played it so well.
Because we barely had a script. It was straight up them improvising the entire time. Like we would come up with maybe scenarios to do, but like it was all. Yeah.
Like the scene where he's making her tea.
Yeah.
That we just kind of told him to make tea, and he just started grabbing shit from the cupboards. And throwing it all in a bowl.
Yep. That was fun.
We had to cut the scene of us driving home with him. The Snapchat scene, because I think we lost the footage.
Yeah, I didn't have the footage of it, but hey, if I do find the footage, I'll release it.
I think it's just because we didn't screen record it in time or something.
Yeah.
Like we filmed it and it was on our actual Snapchat stories because we wanted it to look realistic, and then we just forgot to record it.
Yeah.
But all I remember is for the next like day afterwards, because it's only on for 24 hours, people are being like, what is this thing on your Snap of just us being like come on, stop being a loser and apologize to Ronaldo, and he's like
sobbing.
Yeah. The people in fucking Sobeys when we were filming the grocery shopping scene, like he's on the ground in a field position crying, and there's this woman just walking by and she just goes as she walks past.
I think I forgot to blur out her face.
That's fine. She's probably famous
low key.
now.
I remember in the McDonald's scene, it took me I was like, okay, I have to blur out everyone's face.
The blur made it look almost more realistic too, because it's like a.
Oh yeah, because it's like a documentary. Yeah, I actually. When we were filming Monsters Within Us earlier today, I was with fellow R Cavity member Alex Walton. Shout out to you because you don't fucking watch this podcast. but
and fellow watcher
Sam Kitakella, yes. So we were talking about wow, well, we should just we'd love to make another R Cavity thing. We don't know what it would be. Like, we had stuff planned, but
we did have stuff planned, and to this day I still want to do
because it's like
another R Cavity.
It's easy to do, right?
It is. The only reason we never did it last time is because we got busy doing Lock and Key to play. And we just didn't get time to edit it until we got back around to it during Christmas of this year.
Yeah.
And I remember at that point I was Alex was sort of doing her own thing, and me and you were at separate schools. So you would send me rough cuts.
Yeah.
And I would in a Google Doc I'd put my notes.
Yeah.
And then we'd just continuously go back and forth like that for the final edit. And that was really funny.
Yep.
I still think that's one of our that's one of my favorite things we've done. That's just so off the cusp, and it's so us.
Yeah. Especially it was fun. That's ultimately one of the things we love about filming with people. It's a fun time, you know? And not only is it a fun time, but something is made and something
yeah.
We get to show hey, look what we made while having a fun time.
And that's the thing though, man, because going into it, you always have that weird apprehensiveness when you right before you start filming, especially with the big projects, both from now on and with Monsters Within Us now. Those few days leading up, I have that weird fear of we're jumping into something really fucking big. It's really easy just to walk off and say, let's not do it. But the fact that we're going through with it and we always have a good time doing it, and that's what makes it fun. Unless we're doing 40 costume changes in one night, but that's maybe I've already said too much.
It was a fun time. It was a fun time.
We got through 4 or 5 pages in a 6-hour span, which really isn't that bad.
Yeah,
for a first day. That's pretty good, man.
We filmed around, I think it's ultimately around 2 minutes of the 3 minutes of the film.
In the grand scheme of filmmaking, though, that's we're fucking whoa, we're making pace.
And I quickly edited it together, and honestly, I'm really happy with it so far. It's good.
The stuff you shot today was really good too. It's really coming together, man, and we've totally stepped up the production since the last one. Probably helps that we're in film school now, and we're getting an actual education.
That's why. That's also that's one of the reasons why we delayed it in the first place. I was okay, we're gonna be more educated after our first year in school. So and I want this to be better.
Yeah. And
so
it was a lot more professional this time around too. Our planning stages and shit. We have an actual DP now.
Yeah, we do.
As opposed to just Brandon holding a camera.
Shout out to Marley. Because usually I'm the DP for a lot of the stuff. And I was a bit hesitant for this one. I was oh man, I don't know if I can do this. Because I'm acting in this. And not only am I acting in this, I'm acting in a lot of this. So it's not I could be behind the camera a lot, and I'm used to being behind the camera.
It's similar with me too. Cause during From Now On, I had a relatively small role, and that was mostly just because behind the scenes we were me and you specifically were just kind of trying to hold everything together. And now that we have a larger crew now, we don't need to be holding it together as much, which is weird because I went into this thinking I'm gonna be getting 8 phone calls a day. People are gonna be asking about costumes and shit, and I'm gonna be your secretary, I was last time, is being hey, Marianne wants to know what she needs to wear. hold on a sec, Crit.
No, but then I would go Ralph, because Ralph's the.
Oh, then Ralph's the costumes. That's exactly what happened, dude. For the first time in a GOOSHLEMS production, we didn't start off by going to Walmart to get a photo printed. Yeah, which was really weird. We went to Walmart, but we didn't. It's always Walmart, man.
Yeah, it's because Walmart opens earliest and closes latest. That's the thing. We can start filming at 8 a.m. and then Walmart's open at 7. So shout out to Walmart. But no, yeah, it's been a good time. Especially owning owning a better camera now, that's also a reason why like I wanted to delay it, because like I wanted to save up money for the camera, which we would use. Just a lot of reasons like came together. I mean, I guess I can reveal this about Monsters with an S.
Yes.
It's in black and white.
See, usually we say crank the saturation, but today we're lowering the saturation.
Yeah, well, you watch Pandora, and Pandora is just very, very saturated. But this one, there is no saturation.
I want to talk about this quickly because we're talking about equipment. This can be a good segue for a topic, because for those of you who don't know, we're not professional podcasters. Toe and Boku Ramen, please sponsor our podcast.
We were just there yesterday.
We were just there. I literally messaged you saying we were coming.
Shout out to Toe and Boku.
Y'all are excellent. I'm sorry I didn't finish my ramen. Wasn't feeling great last night, but it was delicious.
Follow Monsters Within Us. MWU Film is the Twitter, like at MWU Film. And I recently made an Instagram for it. I haven't posted anything on it, but you can follow that at Monsters Within Us Film on Instagram. So expect some stuff there, and it's gonna be fun. You're gonna see some updates on the production and stuff.
Follow me on Instagram too, because I do daily production updates. Because I did that too. I did that from now on too.
Yeah, and that's how we have proof of from now on.
That's one of the reasons we have proof. Okay,
expect that in the documentary.
So we don't have any. What I was trying to segue into is that we aren't professional podcasters.
Yes.
And we don't have any topics for today. So our idea was just kind of talking and wing it.
We are literally just talking. Just two bros.
Sitting in a room. Yeah, we aren't 5 feet apart. We're going to do... I came up with a topic really quickly. Let's talk about the cost of filmmaking, especially when you're young and you don't have a lot of money. Like we do. We don't have a lot of money.
Yep.
We both work, but Ralph works too, but Ralph's in another country going to school right now. So let's talk about the camera first. For those of you who don't know, filmmaking is expensive.
Very, very expensive.
But there are options. Let's talk options. So this is what we have. Christopher, you have a Sony a7 III.
Yes, I do.
And that's the camera I was looking at too.
Yes.
Because one of our theories was, not only is it a good camera, our theory was we could potentially have 2 units. Mm-hmm. For those of you who don't know what units are in filmmaking, so we don't like alienate people with terminology.
What are units, Ryan?
Units are teams, in essence. There is the first unit, which is typically the main director and main actors for main scenes. There is then the second unit, which will shoot secondary scenes. Now that could be, in some cases, say if there are co-directors, like we have for this film.
Yes. Oh, this film is directed by not only myself, but...
a special friend.
But a special friend who's not here right now. So, but shout out to him.
So Ralph.
I
was about to say Kris and special friend, but I said Ralph's name first.
Ralph Ramos.
So the theory. So basically, if you have a second unit, they would shoot a secondary scene. Say like if you're in an action movie, they would shoot the action scene, or a car chase or something, and that would be done with doubles and a second unit director. But for some films who have 2 directors, you could have 2 teams with both directors there. Yeah. So one of our ideas was, if we both had the same camera, we can shoot matching footage with Ralph in charge of one team and Kris in charge of another. And probably, if I wasn't acting, I would hop between the 2 teams just to like coordinate. Mm-hmm. So, pretty good plan, but there's a thing that exists called money. Something we don't have a lot of.
Yep. We have a very limited amount of, so like honestly, I literally spend all my money on camera stuff or just like stuff for the film, and it sucks.
I spent a lot of money on equipment, yes. So if we are getting a Sony a7 III with a 28 to 70 millimeter kit,
which is what I got.
It's like a typical,
because
it's I think it's technically a DSLR, even though it's mirrorless. It's based on the framework of a DSLR. Basically, what that means is it's made for photography, even though it shoots really good video. So it comes with a basic 28 to 70 millimeter lens, which is a basic photography lens for DSLRs.
Yeah, and the thing is, it costs like 200 dollars more than the body only kit, and the lens by itself is $500. So I was like, well, I can get this lens for $200 if I just got it with the kit.
Exactly.
So
if we're going with, say, so we're building a package here, let's say. If we are getting a, the body, so the camera itself, with that lens, and a 55 millimeter lens, which is a fairly typical...
Which 55 millimeter lens is this? I don't think that's the same as mine. That price is very expensive.
We're just going off of Amazon here.
Yeah.
So say we are getting that. Mm-hmm. You are up to $4,000.
Yep.
For that. And then you need a memory card. Which is, say, let's add another $40-50. Aha. A 50 millimeter lens, which is $350.
That's the one I have. The $350 one. Because that's straight up like $800 right there.
Okay.
Like an additional.
So we are now... So let's just add all this shit to our cart.
Wow. Ryan accidentally presses buy now.
Yeah, and then my credit card company starts calling me and asking if I made a fraudulent purchase. So how much is this? So the lens, that's there's another lens here that's $800.
Yeah, that's the 55. But the 50 is different though. It's different.
Yeah, so that's what did we just say? $350? That's scary.
$350, yeah. I believe you can get it on sale at this current moment, though. I don't know.
Can Amazon. You? That's very interesting. But it's Amazon choice. It's Amazon's choice. So at least you know you're getting a good deal on that. So then we're gonna need a memory card. Let's say at least
64 gigs.
At least 64 gigs.
Which is what we're recording on.
Indeed. That's $46. And now, if you're really special, and if you really want to shit yourself, Kristoffer, we're gonna go look at cinema lenses.
Buddy.
Cinema lenses are scary. That is a word that makes me shiver, because those are very expensive. We have the first one, which is a Canon with a declicked aperture, which I assume that just means you can control the aperture and the follow focus on the...
So declicked aperture actually means, yes, you can control it on the lens, but it means that it doesn't click to the certain apertures. Like, it doesn't... Because you know how...
I know what you mean.
You know how in, like, some of the older lenses, like, it clicks to 1.8 or clicks to 2.8.
So you could theoretically get, like, a 1.9.
Well, yeah. Well, also, you could do that with the clicker, with the clicking one, too. It's just that...
It's not, like, preset?
It's not as smooth. Like, let's say you want to... let's say during a shot, you want to go from, like, 16 to 1.8, which is pretty wild. You can smoothly go there instead of if it was a clicked one, it's transition. Like and it like stops slowly.
It's like a focus ring.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, so that is $385.
This is what I get for watching a bunch of camera videos. I just know a bunch of random shit.
I'm not a cinematographer and I'm not the biggest lens fan, so I usually have people who I ask for help with that. So this is literally a cinema lens you put on your phone that is $120.
I would love to make a film on a phone, by the way.
There is an app. I was about to buy it because it's $15. It's what like Tangerine was shot on. It's done using a specific app.
Tangerine is one of my favorite movies. Like, I think it might be my favorite movie of all time.
I haven't seen it because I'm scared to watch it because didn't he direct Florida Project too?
Yes, he did.
That's why I'm scared to watch it. Because I didn't even finish Florida Project because I'm like, this is fucking sad, bro.
Tangerine's like funny, I think. Like it's different than Florida Project.
Okay, maybe I'll watch it then. Dude, I don't know what like the last like 3 years have been for like just fucking sad movies, man. Fucking Moonlight made me feel so fucking empty, bro.
Moonlight is so good.
It's so fucking good, but I have no desire to watch it again because it fucking broke my heart, dude. I have
a thing for sad movies.
Yeah, I don't, bro. Fuck. I had to watch that movie like 3 times in rapid succession, and I was just so like dead by the end of that.
If a movie can make me feel like, okay, I cry a lot in movies. Okay, yes. I cry a lot in general, but but movies, like, straight up. Okay, I was watching. Fucking Netflix keeps posting Stranger Things like montages as if they're fans of Stranger, like, as like fan edits.
I saw that, and I think that's weird. I'm not gonna lie.
So I watched the story of Billy in Stranger Things, and spoiler alerts for Stranger Things fans who haven't been caught up to the first 3 seasons.
He becomes a Power Ranger in the end, doesn't he?
Basically, Billy is kind of a dick, but his story gets real sad. Like it explains why he is a dick. I don't think it necessarily like redeems him. A lot of people think he's redeemed, but I personally don't think. But like,
you're still racist, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
I think he was still racist. But like, in the 3rd season, they really went into the backstory of his character and like kind of like how he became who he was in the 2nd season, because in the 3rd season he's kind of like taken over by the Mind Flayer for pretty much all of it. And I actually thought of something. I don't know how much you know about Stranger Things because I know you haven't watched it, but Billy hits on Mike's mom.
Yes, I know that.
Okay.
Hey, Mrs. Wheeler.
So when his backstory is revealed, it's revealed that his you already knew that his father was abusive.
Yeah.
But you see that his favorite memory is him at the beach with his mom, and then it goes through his memories, and you find out that his father was also abusive towards his mother, and his mother basically left him, and like didn't come back, so left Billy with him.
Bro. And
Billy, who really loved his mom, like obviously like really fucked him up.
Is he looking for like maternal attention?
That was my theory. I'm like, so this man clearly has mommy issues. Is this why he's like
trying to fuck
Mike's mom?
That's fucking weird, dude.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. I'm sure people in the comments who watch Stranger Things are like, "Oh, you're so fucking dumb. Like, why didn't you?"
Makes sense though.
But like, I don't know. I just thought he was weird for for liking the moms, but you know. But I watched that fan edit. I can't even say fan edit. It's Netflix literally made it.
That's not a fan edit. That's just a fucking intern was just like, hey, and
an intern was a fan. Honestly, I would totally make fan edits of my own films.
I'm gonna make a fan edit after this.
So I watched it, and it just went through like his entire character arc in Stranger Things season 2 and 3. And then when he dies at the end, and when his sister like is like telling him like Billy, she's like on the verge of tears. Man, this was earlier today. Tears started coming, and I'm like, man, but like I love the show so much. If a friggin' thing can make me cry, I automatically like feel good about that film, because the fact that you can make me like grow so attached to these characters and their story, even if they're racist pieces of shit.
He's like, keep
and you
the
make
door
me
open.
You make me cry over his death. Like, that's freaking amazing, man. That's amazing. Like, great props to Stranger Things. Like, there are problems in the 2nd and 3rd season of the show. I think first season's like amazing. There are problems 2nd and 3rd season. I think it's not as great as the first, but like still really good. Still probably one of the best shows I've watched. Dare I say?
Whoa.
Dare I say? But
so I'm looking at
Filmic Pro.
Filmic Pro is, I'm pretty sure, what was used on Tangerine, and Soderbergh's also using it on his stuff recently, I believe. So
because Soderbergh is really into those iPhone movies.
Yeah, I don't know where the fuck that came from. That like low key came out of nowhere too. He was just kind of like, I figured it out. It's the iPhone 5S.
Oh, that's great.
And then it wasn't super great. And then he was sounding like, I figured it out again. It's the iPhone 10. I want to watch it. That's not Steven Soderbergh.
We love Soderbergh. I don't know how to spell his name.
Listen, dude, I don't know what his most recent movie's called. I just kind of call it the basketball movie that was shot on the iPhone.
Soderbergh, okay. High Flying Bird. High Flying Bird. Oh, there we go. With there's his Wikipedia page. I found it. Oh, look, he kind of looks like a bald Woody Harrelson. And Woody Harrelson's already bald. But he looks like a Mr. Clean version.
Oh, you know what he looks like? He looks like Peyton Reed.
He does look like Peyton Reed. He looks like a mixture. He looks like Peyton Reed. He looks exactly like Peyton Reed. Never mind. Exactly he kind of looks like a mixture of what's his name?
This is fucking bizarre, dude.
Mark Strong and
Mr. Clean
and Mr. Clean. The guy that I said before. Forgot what it was. Unsane. That's the movie I was thinking of. Oh, it actually has good reviews because I watched the review and it wasn't that great of Unsane.
So I'm looking at this now.
Mm-hmm.
Does it weird you out that a lot of camera apps have really weird in-app purchases? Like, what is the cinematographer kit for Filmic? I'm just gonna Google it. Cinematographer kit.
Can you imagine buying an app for $15 and then saying, "Hey, you can't unlock all the features of the app unless you pay another."
That's what I'm saying.
$14. Why can't you just charge it that price from the beginning and just give?
Because okay, there's an app that came out. Okay, some of them have like their in-app purchases are just like tips. Like it's basically a donate button.
Oh really?
Okay, sure. I'll donate. But like, Filmic Pro, why are you making it so hard for me to have dynamic range test? Is it just like a range test or like a light meter?
That's what?
Why am I paying $15 for that?
An extra 2.5 stops of
dynamic range. Are you paying
range?
For aperture?
You're paying for dynamic range. That's not aperture.
Oh fuck! I'm really bad with camera settings.
Dynamic range is basically the.
I mean, it says stops. That's what got me.
Okay. So dynamic range is basically in a camera, like basically the higher dynamic range the better because
it's like sort of like, isn't it like sort of like
it's the highlights and the shadows. Now, when a camera has like lots of stops of dynamic range, that means when you color correct it, you're able
to have more control.
You're able to have more control in color correcting, basically. So you can bring down the highlights and it won't look weird, or you can push the shadows up and it won't look weird.
Okay, that makes sense. It's kind of like shooting RAW.
Yeah, it's basically like shooting RAW. Except it's not RAW. But like obviously the well, I mean even RAW like that has like the dynamic range. Like certain cameras have better dynamic range than others. Obviously, the more famous camera that has a really high dynamic range is the Red cameras.
Oh, Red. Remember the time we like basically just looked up Red camera kits and we were just like, that's fucked up, bro.
It's real fucked up. Can you?
You ever seen that documentary about?
Starting at 25K. Jeez.
Me, dude.
15K. Jeez.
Dude, Linus Tech Tips is just out here going like this.
Oh my
dude.
god. Those YouTubers that have like 5 Red cameras, what the fuck, bro?
Did you see Linus Tech Tips with the mag for the camera? It's like just straight up like an SSD. You slide into it. I'm like, that's...
The thing is with Red cameras too, that's just the body.
Yeah, that's the worst part.
That is not the lens. That's not literally everything that you need to get the camera to function.
There's something about that I find really predatory. Like, look at the fucking heat vents on the top. Like, Blackmagic does that too.
Oh yeah,
Blackmagic does...
Here's the thing, Blackmagic's cameras are a lot more reasonably priced.
That's true. You're up to like what, like $1,500 for a Blackmagic?
So I think it's $1,800.
Is it? Yeah. Depending on which model you got.
Yeah. For like the Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. I think that's around 1,800. You Americans might say no, it's only 1,200, but this is Canadian dollars.
Our dollar sucks, yo. Sorry.
Which also speaking about American dollars, shout out to Daniel Garcia Vega, because I don't know if you listen to this podcast, but like I just bought your zine. I think that's how you pronounce it, and it's $3 US. But I had to pay $4 because conversion. So, just trying to support the homie, you know. Shout out.
Okay, I'm looking for cameras, not fucking.
Actually, I kind of want to get you. I was on your podcast.
We're gonna do a Skype
2 years ago. We should get you up on Skype one of these days.
Okay. The Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera is close to $1,800.
I was correct.
Now the Micro Cinema camera is $1,345.
Yeah, but that's not the popular one. The popular one's that one.
Yeah, but then you can get the Mini Pro, which is
Mini,
which is like
$8,000,
which is still pretty reasonably priced, honestly, compared to fucking red shit.
Yeah. I was considering, when I was looking at my camera, I was considering getting the
Pocket.
My problem with it was the battery life. I would not have been able to live with that battery life.
I have insight on this because you didn't shoot with Blackmagics much, did you? Mm-hmm. I almost exclusively shot with Blackmagics my first year. Fuck those batteries, bro. Fuck those batteries. Do you know how like when you unplug your phone and it goes for like a solid 8 hours? Mm-hmm. Yeah, fuck that. You unplug the Blackmagic and you're like, let's go film. Turn it on, it's fucking dead. That shit, I'm not even kidding. Maybe get 30 minutes on a charge.
Yeah, that's.
It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. If you go to the York equipment room and you get a Blackmagic kit, you have to like, I don't know if this is the same thing with you. You have to like fill out that like dopey ass form that's like, what do you need? Battery times blank. You probably don't do that because you have a fucking Bolex.
Yeah.
So basically what you do is they give you this like form. And the form is basically, what do you need? Camera. Blackmagic Pocket Cinema. What do you need? Lens. And you write down your 3 lenses. Then it says battery times 3. And then this is exactly what happened to me. And then the camera guy, his name is Marcos. He was a filmmaker from Mexico and he came here and now he runs the equipment room. Mm-hmm. He walks over, he looks at me and goes, it's not enough. It's not enough. I'm like, what do you mean, Marcos? What do you mean? And he goes, he comes, he erases the 3, he writes times 6. Motherfucker gives me 6 batteries, and you know what? It was still barely enough. So what you gotta do is you gotta do the patented GOOSHLEMS solution, which is while you're filming, you have it charging.
Yep.
And you keep like swapping them out like an assembly line.
Reminds me, I have to buy more batteries for my Sony camera But hey, guess what? We filmed for like how many hours, and my camera wasn't even close to dying by the end of the day.
We would be so gone if we were using a Blackmagic. We'd be like, it wouldn't even be done charging by the time.
Yeah, literally, I know Blackmagic, like that the footage that it brings out is beautiful.
It's so nice, especially if you use. I was using Bolex lenses on that thing. That shit is crispy, but
it's arguably like for the price, it's freaking amazing. It's arguably like maybe even better than what my Sony camera can think.
So crispy, so nice.
I wanted a full package, okay? I'm not fucking dealing with that battery life. Also, I figured by the time I get like the lens, by the time I get a bunch of extra fucking batteries, doesn't, and even in order to use it to its full potential, like you shouldn't even use like SD cards. You should use like CFast cards, right?
Yeah, that's another thing.
Like even especially if you want to shoot like RAW.
Yeah, that's kind of but then you can also plug in SSDs. But why the fuck would you? I don't want an SSD. Like, here's the thing: we were talking about SSDs earlier. So basically, if you're talking to like filmmaking terminology, the terminology for your memory card or whatever you're filming on is magazine or mag, like a gun, which is literally where it came from. Because in the 1910s, when you were loading film onto a camera, it was literally the same process as loading a machine gun with a magazine. Hence why they're called magazines or mags. Mm-hmm. modern mags are just like SSD, like a 512 SSD. Problem with that is David Fincher has some really interesting insight on this. I saw an interview with him once where he said the reason I switched to digital is because I didn't want to fuck up my film, like by film's really fragile.
Yeah.
So my idea was, hey, we switch to digital, and the mag is just like an SSD. You swap it in and out. Here's the problem. He says, but they still tell you treat this. It's still like a hard drive that can fail easily. So he's like, then why the fuck am I? David Fincher's a very insightful man, but he directed the greatest film of all time with the greatest actor of all time, Alien 3 with Sigourney Weaver. Fuck, dude,
David Fincher, man.
Justice for Alien 3. But I fucking love Sigourney Weaver, by the way. That was supposed to be a Seven joke. I apologize. Which he filmed with famous poet Kevin Spacey.
David Fincher is, like a couple years ago, I used to call him my favorite director, but now it's changed to it's probably Sean Baker, director. Yeah, Ralph Ramos. But like it was because I had watched Gone Girl, and then I went to watch Seven, and I was like, oh man, like I really love these films. And then, but then I realized that like even though I love his films so much. A lot of my inspiration doesn't really come from him, so I wouldn't really call him my favorite director. I mean, okay, to be fair, Social Network is amazing. Also one of my favorite films. Got the Zuck in there. Got my boy Jesse Eisenberg in there.
The Red Capes are coming.
I'm very sad that he's not playing Lex Luthor anymore.
Dude, I really I kind of dug him as Lex Luthor, man. There was something about that. That I really liked, and
I was very sad that David Fincher's not directing World War Z 2.
It's still on his IMDb though.
Oh wait, no, okay, he's apparently still supposed to direct it. It's just it's on hold for now.
How did this like? How did he get attached to that? Like, what kind of...
I don't know. Can you imagine? But can you imagine how good World War Z 2 is going to be if he's directing it, though?
Yeah, but, like, didn't it was directed by the Quantum of Solace guy. The first one. Was it not?
I don't know.
It was. He directed the most boring James Bond movie, dude. It's just like James Bond in the fucking desert. And I'm just like, okay, fuck. And then he did, he did my favorite World War II movie, Christopher Robin.
Oh my god, World War Z, man, directed Christopher Robin?
Yeah, man.
That's
my favorite.
insane.
It's my favorite World War II movie. What?
That's actually insane.
That's like such a whack movie, dude. What?
Was I using the wrong audio thing the whole time? I was using the wrong audio setting the whole time. Hello?
Is it a lot better now?
Hello? I mean, it should be, but like, oh well. Wait, I see Birds of Prey there. Go down. Birds of Prey looks... I mean, I haven't seen a trailer yet. I'm waiting for that trailer. But, like, the marketing has been pretty cool.
Dude, did you see the leaked plot synopsis?
No. What was it?
It's the wackest fucking thing, dude.
Really?
So Black Mask has his nudes stolen. So basically, Black Mask, who's played by Ewan McGregor. Roman Sionis in the comics. He's having an affair with a rival gang leader.
Mm-hmm.
And to not only keep it under wraps that he's having an affair with a man, he gets his like nudes leaked and stolen by Harley Quinn. And then like after they start hunting her for like basically like the stolen goods, he doesn't tell his men what they are. She goes and hides with Black Canary, who's like been in retirement the last few years from like vigilante shit. It's the wildest thing. It really is like the oh yeah, then Huntress is in it too. I don't know. And like, oh,
Played by Mary
that's
Elizabeth Winstead.
that's who that's who he's having the affair with. He's having the affair with Victor
Zsasz?
I read that and I almost dropped my phone. I'm like, Black Mask is fucking Victor Zsasz? What kind of whack?
Fucking wild, bro.
I'm like, I really want to see this movie now.
That's fucking wild. What? How would you react? How would you react if, like, you go through the whole movie, right? And then post-credit scene.
I would get up and I'd start clapping in the theater. Because if you don't know, Suicide Squad is my favorite movie ever made. And I'm like, oh, we're getting a sequel, guys.
Jared Leto pop. Okay, so do you know about that like whole thing of him like kind of teasing being in that?
Yes.
Okay. Basically, for y'all that don't know, Jared Leto played the Joker in Suicide Squad to critical failure.
Fucking hell. And Ryan failure too, dude. I hate that movie.
People did not like his depiction as Joker, which is understandable. It's a very interesting take, very different than what you would expect from the Joker, especially following up Heath Ledger. Rest in peace. Now, of course, everyone's like, I don't want to fucking play Joker again. I'm team, okay, give him another chance because he was in Suicide Squad for like the smallest amount of time.
Solid 30 seconds.
He could have been cut out of Suicide Squad. He gets second billing in Suicide Squad. He could have been cut out of Suicide Squad and it would not have made a difference to the plot.
Yeah, honestly, if you cut it out, then like
it wouldn't have been better or worse. But there are rumors that he's whatchamacallit, that he wants to play the Joker again, or that he's gonna make a cameo appearance in this new film, because obviously it's Harley Quinn, so gotta have like maybe like a Joker, at least Joker reference, right?
Yeah.
And the plot is, I think, of Harley Quinn breaking up with the Joker. Like, I think I saw the synopsis.
Well, like, basically that's how the movie opens. That she kind of, there's an episode of the Batman animated series called, it's called like Going Clean or something, and it's basically about Harley Quinn giving up the life of crime and like all that. Mm-hmm. She gets her dogs in the movie too. What are their names? God damn it!
Oh yeah, those dogs.
Because there was a leaked set photo of her going to a pet store, and then everyone on like Twitter was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Yay!" Because I like those dogs. It's like not Abbott and Costello. Fuck, what are their names? I'm gonna Google it. Harley Quinn dogs. Oh, it is Bud and Lou. Yeah. So yeah, they're named after Abbott and Costello. Yeah, man, they're gonna be in the movie, and I'm very excited. But fuck, the DCEU is like just dead, dude, and it's so sad because they were so much promise.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I think the universe itself is
just dead. It's gone. So incoherent now.
The thing is, a lot of the movies, like the Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman got critical acclaim. Aquaman did not, but it earned a lot of money, and a lot of audiences enjoyed it, except for Ethan Beard. He hates that movie.
I mean, Shazam didn't make as much money.
Shazam didn't make as much, but Shazam
got pretty good reviews.
Got really good reviews,
except for Ethan Beard.
Except for Ethan Beard and Ethan Zuccan. Yeah. So basically, like, they've been trying to climb up again.
They've really been trying. And you know what? To be fair, they have been getting better.
Yeah.
Just like they really are getting there, dude.
Like the thing, I liked the DCEU. Like I can admit that the films aren't great, but I enjoyed it for like, just because I felt the cinematography was better than a lot of the Marvel movies.
Yeah, a lot of Marvel movies have very static cinematography, and that kind of bugs me.
It really bugs me with freaking Spider-Man Far From Home. I love that movie so much. I'm sorry. But I was watching pretty much it, right? Pretty much it. Shout out Eric Jacob. You guys were like, hey, any podcasts in LA? And I'm like, no, there's podcasts in Canada. Come here.
Yeah, right.
Funny, super funny guys. We saw them live. They recently released a video, their commentary, clips of their commentary track, on their commentaries on Spider-Man trilogy. Yeah. I haven't drank water in a while, but it's okay because the podcast is almost over. Spider-Man trilogy, and I watched it with Ralph actually. The
Really?
the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, like their commentary on it, and they were Eric wasn't in it. It was Jacob and like two other dudes. But they were talking about how like the cinematography and just the way it's shot is just so much better than like the MCU Spider-Man. And even like I know the Amazing Spider-Man, like Andrew Garfield Spider-Man gets a lot of hate, but if you watch those movies, they are better shot than both Spider-Man Homecoming and Far From Home, which is kind of disappointing because I genuinely really enjoy it. And obviously Tom Holland Spider-Man's better than Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies.
In pretty much every way.
Yeah, except for the cinematography.
Fuck, dude. Like, we need. Like, I've been wanting to talk about this on the podcast. I'm just gonna like turn into like a fucking rambling lunatic. In the 1960s, there was this new wave of directors that came out all at once, and mostly out of like University of Southern California. Mm-hmm. Like fucking Scorsese, George Lucas, Spielberg. They all came out in this weird fucking wave. Like at the exact same time. They got like this weird 5-year span. We haven't had that since then because everyone's just kind of like popped up here and there. Like Fincher was like, I don't want to direct music videos anymore. And they're like, direct an alien movie. Well, that sucks. Go direct 7. And then like he goes and does his own thing. And then like, who else pops up? Tommy Wiseau pops up and then he's like, oh, bye. And then like, hi,
Denny.
Yeah. And he's like, bye. So then like, we haven't had like a big...
Ryan Tocheri pops up.
Ryan Tocheri pops up and is like, pornography. And they're like, no. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then Christopher Bradley, Cruz, and Ralph Ramos pop up, and they're like...
Yay.
And then Ethan Zuccan pops up, and they're like, yeah!
Whoa!
And then, like, it's just, like, we haven't had, like, that big rush since then, and I feel like we're sort of, like, slow, especially as, like, those older people are getting older.
Yeah.
And they aren't making as many movies.
Or good movies.
Except for Scorsese.
I'm looking at Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, fuck, his movies are Why is this man making like fucking 4 movies at once, bro?
Sorry, man. Steven Spielberg.
Man,
I'm excited for West Side Story, though.
That's so weird. Why is he making a West Side Story
I don't
movie?
know why Steven Spielberg's directing a musical, but you know what? I'm excited for that movie's existence.
Fuck, you know who should have directed that? Fucking Baz Luhrmann should have directed that. Well, you know, but Baz Luhrmann's doing an Elvis movie, bro. I can't wait for that. Can you imagine?
Wait for the modern music?
That's okay. I was saying that to my dad today. I was like, I can't wait for him to like start singing fucking like dude. Elvis is gonna walk out and be like,
I gotta take my
right
to the old town road.
No, I was fucking saying I can't wait for the scene where Elvis snaps at his manager, just goes really close to him and just goes, For those of you who don't know, the greatest film of all time is The Great Gatsby and has the single greatest movie moment of all fucking time. No, it's not. It's more like a... It's like the... It's so fucking funny. It's my favorite Egyptian actor, Joel.
Joel Egerton, who was in Bright, directed by David Ayer, who directed Suicide Squad. Yay! And you know who else? You know who else was involved with Bright? A rapist.
What?
Writer Max Landis.
Oh, fuck Max Landis. My dream is to make... One of my dream movies is to make a Superman movie based on the comic book American Alien, which was like about like Clark Kent growing up in like Kansas, and like discovering his powers and shit.
Isn't it Arkansas?
What? Oh, stop. Stop. Why is this Arkansas? Why is this Arkansas when this isn't
Arkansas?
Oh my god. America, explain. No, but that's one of my favorite comic books ever, and it was written by Max Landis. Now I'm like, fuck. Dude, he's such a piece of shit, dude.
Yeah. He's a...
Yeah, dude, but like, fucking David Ayer, dude. David Ayer used to do like cool shit, and then just something happened.
David Ayer did Fury, right?
He did Fury,
which was pretty good, apparently.
I think he wrote Training Day.
Yeah. So I remember Max Landis tweeted out, a couple of years before Bright came out. He's like,
yeah, he wrote Training Day.
I just wrote something that could be my Star Wars, and then Bright flopped critically. But
what a bad movie, dude! Like, just what a.
Apparently, okay. Like, I honestly thought it was a cool concept.
It is a cool concept.
It just wasn't executed well, and there's gonna be a sequel. But it's not gonna be written by
David Ayer or Max Landis.
By Mr. Landis, Mr. Young Landis. It's actually gonna be written by David Ayer and Evan that guy.
David Ayer is...
Which makes me more comfortable that Max Landis isn't involved in the second... I mean, he better...
Okay, here's the thing. Max Landis, aside from being an absolute garbage, terrible, horrible person, has such a fucking, like, 16-year-old writing a movie vibe to him. And, like, it's like something I would have written when I was 15. Now, fucking, like, David Ayer has made really good movies. I don't know what happened with Suicide Squad. I don't know if, like, he was micromanaged on Bright and Suicide Squad.
The only good thing that Max Landis ever wrote was Chronicle.
Yeah. That's literally...
the only good thing he's written. And that's first thing.
And the Chronicle sequel sounded really fucking dope, and then the Chronicle sequel was canceled. You ever hear you ever read the script for the Chronicle sequel?
No.
It's called Chronicle Martyr, and it was about a woman who had the same powers, but she's like a religious fanatic, so she sees this as a sign of God that she's supposed to destroy the other powered people.
Oh my god.
And basically, what's-his-face, the only surviving kid from the end of the first movie, comes out of fucking hiding to, like, stop her from killing people.
That's wild. That does sound really cool.
Like... If only Max Landis didn't fucking write it.
Chronicle was directed and written by people who would later direct and write terrible things.
Josh Trank squad, dude. Josh Trank, who's also, like, low-key a shitty person.
Oh, is he? I didn't know that.
Okay, here's the Josh Trank. Okay, let's talk about Josh Trank really quick. Josh Trank is... Fuck, how do I describe Josh Trank? He came out of, like, Chronicle as this, like, bright, shining star in Hollywood. He's like, part of the new fucking wave and shit. Mm-hmm.
Because, like, Chronicle's really good.
Yeah, and then he just, like... And it was supposed to be a big deal. He's directing a Fantastic Four movie.
That's wild. That's such a huge opportunity.
And that's a really interesting idea, to get a guy who did this really interesting take on superheroes to do a Marvel movie. And then as soon as he signed on, it just immediately went fucking downhill. So basically, for those of you who don't know, the studio micromanaged him on Fantastic Four. But the way he reacted to that micromanaging, he basically reacted like an angsty teenager.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Who, like, he was being he was renting a house that the studio was paying for while he was filming in the UK, and apparently he trashed the fucking house in anger, and it was like $20,000 of damage. He would stop talking to people on the set, and he would hide. Like, he would just be like, they're like, Josh, we need to set up the shot, and he'd be like, no. And then...
No, I'm gonna hide in the corner.
And if you look at, like, pictures, he's wearing, like, a fucking hood up and shit. Like, he's a fucking Jedi or some shit. Speaking of Jedi, during the production of Fantastic Four, he was tapped to direct a Boba Fett movie. for Disney.
Boba Fett. You can't mess with me. I put my balls in your mouth like boba tea. Sorry.
And basically, what happened is the minute before they were about to announce the Boba Fett movie along with Rogue One. That was the idea, is that they would announce Rogue One and Boba Fett at the same time. Gareth Edwards, who directed Rogue One, comes out on stage with like all these like fucking like executives and shit at like the Celebration, which was like the big Star Wars convention they do every year. This is in 2015. So it was mostly Force Awakens centered. So he comes out and he goes, "Hi guys, unfortunately, Josh is unable to make it today. He's sick." And everyone goes, "Oh," and they're like, yes, well, we're going to talk about Rogue One instead. Yay! And then they talk about Rogue One. Basically what happened was he was not sick. They basically called him and said, "Hey Josh, don't bother coming to the convention. You're fired." And do you know why they fired him?
Fantastic Four came out?
No, it was before Fantastic Four came out. It was because Fox. It's because it was a big public story that he was directing Star Wars, right? And basically, the Fox people straight up called Disney and were like, "Don't fucking hire this guy. He's such a child, and he sucks." And they're like, "Oh shit!" And they basically like Fox tried like covering up the shit show that was Fantastic Four. And they basically, Disney used their, like, Disney money, please don't hurt us, our corporate overlords. And they fucking, like, they basically, like, did some crazy spy espionage shit and uncovered everything. And they were like, aha, fired. And Josh Trank has barely worked since. Because it all came out that he was, and then, like, he started making...
There's a movie that's coming out this year. It's his first film since Fantastic Four.
Dude,
starring Tom Hardy.
Oh, that's right.
As Al Capone.
Oh, fucking weird. What?
And Linda Cardellini. And Matt Dillon? I haven't seen that name in years. That's friggin' wild. Well.
We're running out of time.
That, my cowards.
This has been a really good buddy podcast.
It's been a buddy podcast. We were just talking about films the entire time. We're talking about our films. We're talking about other people's films. It's just the film episode, you know?
It's the film episode.
It's been a great time.
So are you going to be directing next week? Not directing. Are you going to be hosting next week? Or is Ralph going to be hosting?
I should be hosting.
You should be hosting.
Cuz
So, Chris, did we have any comments or responses to our
very great question, actually. Very good question.
Looks like we got a couple, I think.
Let's see. Please.
We got one.
Did we? Okay.
I saw Austin on there.
Austin J. Paveo says, "Is it wrong to eat a tomato like an apple?"
No.
You eat a tomato like an apple? Why?
Next question.
Do you like tomatoes that much?
Yeah, dude, tomatoes are fucking awesome, dude.
I like tomatoes only when it's on stuff, man.
No, I love tomatoes, dude. Tomatoes are so good.
What the fuck is this?
Love tomatoes, dude. Tomatoes are so good.
Ethan Zukin.
Sad.
Sad.
My buddy.
Talk about our sex life.
Ha, ha, ha.
That's exactly what it's like.
Talk. Here, I'll talk about my sex life.
So Ethan. Hey, but
let's go to.
I thought you were gonna like. No, never mind. I'm not gonna make that joke.
What were you gonna say?
No, let's talk about my sex life.
No, that's inappropriate.
I'm sorry.
What's Alex's question?
Alex A. Liz Walton. Hey, what's up? She said, "Add me." What does that mean?
We'll add you on the podcast when you start listening to the podcast.
Ooh, burn.
You know what else burns? Rubber, like when you stop your car really quickly. Like what we're doing to this podcast right now.
I thought you were saying, you know what else burns? Rubber. Like the young ones.
Ryan Tocheri.
Who were you?
I was Ryan Tocheri. Who were you?
I was. Did you hear that?
I did hear that. That was loud, bro.
That's me being real thirsty. So I was Kristoffer Bradley Cruz, and I'm really thirsty right now because I didn't bring a water bottle on the podcast. And it's dark now.
It is dark now.
It's darker now. The sun's setting. It's a beautiful night.
It is.
And have a wonderful time.
It's 8:13. We should probably get food.
Yes.
Cowards, thank you for watching. We'll be back same Goosh time, same Goosh channel.
Not the same Goosh time. Ever,
Probably not the same Goosh time. Same Goosh channel.
Always the same Goosh channel.
Toen Boku, please sponsor our podcast. Thank you for coming out.